Welcome to episode 7 of Dungeon Crawl Talk Soup, the podcast. In this episode, I talk with my friend Natasha. In theory, this conversation is about content creators and content creation, but ironically, or purposefully, we wander into conversations of a variety of different areas, which is content creation in and of itself, right? It's the Ouroboros of podcasts. Enjoy. In case this is your first time watching Dungeon Crawl Talk Soup, my show is one part podcast with my friends, one part perilous permadeath gaming challenge. Mostly I chat with my friends about a topic they love, but rarely get the chance to talk about at length, but at the same time, I'm trying to get my first win at dungeoncrawlstonesoup. The catch is, if my character dies, the episode ends. Hope you enjoy the show. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, perfect. So, I'm here with my friend Natasha. Okay, so this is Dungeon Crawl Talk Soup. Natasha, we're mostly just going to have a talk show. And it's mostly just going to be me and you having a chat about the thing that you want to talk about. And we talked earlier about how it's supposed to be a thing that you don't get the chance to talk about with anybody else. And that you're looking forward to having a chat about. It doesn't have to be funny. You're not a comedian, so like no expectations for a comedy podcast. We're just going to have a chat. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, but the catch is that I'm going to be playing this video game in the background. And this is a permadeath video game. So once I start the character, I'm going to be playing, but as soon as my character dies, the podcast is over. The talk show ends right there. And we're just going to end, yeah, that's right. We're going to end the stream right then, and that's the end. And so earlier you asked whether you should like front load your good content.
Yeah.
And I said yes, and it's because there's a mild chance that the show will be very, very short. But I'm going to be very careful, Natasha. I'm going to try really hard. I'm now a streamer of this game, so.
Okay. This is kind of wild. I didn't realize there's this unpredictable time duration of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a show that lasted 9 minutes. I've had a show that's lasted 15 minutes. I've had two that have lasted about 45 minutes, and then the other two, I didn't die during the stream. We got tired, and so we made it like an hour and a half, 2 hours the other two times. So it's unpredictable. I like to call it chaotic energy that I'm trying to bring to the table here.
Okay, I like it.
So we're gonna hang out really soon.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's my birthday on Saturday, and so the thing is that for this particular birthday, it's my 40th birthday, and I've been on a journey, thank you, for the last 11 weeks to try to, get in the best shape I can by the age of 40.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Also, I thought you were about to say for the last 11 years, and I was about to say, what has Travis been up to the last decade that he's been trying to get at? 11 weeks makes a lot more sense.
It makes a ton more sense. 11 years has been very much a roller coaster in my fitness. Although I think this is probably the fittest I've been in 11 years as well, but I think it's in my entire life, including when I was like a high school sports player.
Wow. What have you been doing?
I've been doing this like YouTube routine by this lady named Heather Robertson.
Okay.
And she does like hit routines and stuff.
Okay.
And it's five videos a week. And we're down to the last 2 days. Yeah, we're gonna finish all 12 weeks. Jess and I. So Jess and I have been doing it together. That's the other thing, is having a partner in this has been really helpful. So I'm not like Brad Pitt ripped over here or anything. But the other thing is I layered on an extra layer of complexity on myself in the last 2 weeks or so by cutting out any excess sugar, or any bread's still okay, but not candy bars.
Totally.
Which is an especially big problem given the fact that there's 2 giant bags of trick or treat candy in my house right now. From
Happy
my kids.
Halloween.
Yep, and now I just have to look at those. And as I was coming down here to start the show, I was like, oh my god, I should grab this candy bar and eat it.
Ooh,
and I was like, oh no, you can't do that. No, not when we're this close.
Yeah. Travis, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want you to know that I don't see a game playing on my screen.
I'm
Is
not
that
playing yet. Yeah, that's totally
okay?
right. Okay, so
Okay.
that's another key aspect of the show is there's a very reasonable chance that I will get distracted with our conversation and completely forget to play the video game.
Okay, I love this. I love this. This is very chaotic energy, which I'm so into.
Yeah, totally. I almost forgot to even bother to play the game. And
That's just sometimes how life goes.
yeah, and also the beauty of it is, as the commenter, which I think is an ex-coworker of ours, he mentioned that like at least you don't die then, which is true. If I die, then the show's over. So if I just get distracted talking to you, then that's better.
Travis, I don't understand why you don't just like put your camera on. I put my camera on and we have an old school classic conversation and basically do what all the podcasters do today.
That is such a great question. And it's that's literally what I thought about when trying to develop this show. In my head, I was like, what can I do that's different than anybody else? Right? And I was like, I don't want to just have a podcast. Although, like, we're going to talk about this at length, aren't we?
I hope so. I'm super curious to hear everything that is in your head about podcasts and stuff.
Well, yeah. So I've been calling it a talk show for one, because I don't know why, but I think that because it's video streaming, I guess that makes it not a podcast, it's a talk show. But and podcasts have to be about a thing, and this is not usually about a thing. It's about it's about a different thing every week.
That's true, but does a podcast have to be about a thing? I feel like that's not really a rule. Like, in fact, I feel like podcasts, I mean, should I go into this now?
Yeah. Okay, so let me just mention that, like, although we've been doing this somewhat naturally, Natasha and I spoke beforehand, and we decided we were going to talk about content creators and YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Does it include podcasts, the things you wanted to talk about?
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
yes.
right. Okay, so proceed with your question or what you want to talk about.
So I was going to say, I'm really I think at the moment, I'm particularly fascinated with podcasts, probably the most. But one of the things I've seen, at least with the like handful of podcasts that I listen to, is it kind of feels like they're going back into like the really hardcore YouTube vlogger days where I can't get over this, but it's so interesting to see that it feels like more and more podcasts these days are now video podcasts. So like I literally listen to certain podcasts on Spotify on my phone while I'm commuting or maybe taking a walk, and there's literal video of it where you see they might just be talking, but you see the people talking to each other if they're in person in a studio.
Yeah.
Or in fact, even if they're virtual, you can see their faces. And I feel like, especially the last like few months, I've seen more podcasts become like it's one person. It's a video. That person is literally talking into what looks like a 80s microphone. And literally just like the podcast is them either talking about a specific topic, like you said, or kind of like saying they'll talk about a specific topic, but kind of rambling and just having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
All that to say, it feels a lot like watching a YouTube vlog where someone's just like looking into their camera and talking to you. And it's fascinating to me to see that that's become, or seems to be becoming, very popular within podcast world, because isn't that like the opposite of the beauty of a podcast, which is you don't have to look. It's like very on the go. You can just put your earphones in and listen to someone talk about a topic or converse. Wow, that was such a rabbit hole, because we started out with, I feel like a podcast doesn't actually have to have a topic, and that's becoming, it feels like a little bit more common these days.
Well, yeah, the other thing is, okay, I'm adding another topic, a layer of this meandering that is going to keep us from getting to all the awesome questions you just came up with. But, like Jess listens to the show and then she is like giving me feedback and I'm trying to not interrupt you is one of the things, right? Like I wanted to hear that whole speech. but I lost track of at
Yeah, I
least two or the
really
three
went.
things you went through. And I'm like, I want to touch on all these, and I'm not interrupting you, and I'm losing them. I gotta get better about writing things down.
I think honestly, it's actually helpful to hear that hear you say that up front. I won't be offended if you interrupt me, especially when I'm like, it's like late at night. I have a cup of coffee and I might meander. So if you have a question, just interrupt me. I will not be offended, especially because you just shared with me that like you have questions as I'm talking.
Yeah, that's probably better, right? And it's like, and it speaks to that. Okay, what I wanted to not do was try to make it too much of a podcast where it's got to be buttoned up when we're having our conversation. And
Hmm.
I'm kind of forgetting myself in that in this moment, right? Like I wanted to have a thing where have an excuse to get on the phone with my friends and have, and hear about the thing that you care about. And because I don't necessarily want to have it be you know that I'm not a big fan of like small talk or whatever, right? So like I don't want to get on the phone with my friends, once a month and be like, so what's your weather like, and what vacation are you going on,
Yeah.
and like how's your car, and or how's your uncle, like, and it's not that I don't like those things. I mean, like, I want to know those things about people, but I'd rather us like talk about pop culture or like something that you care about. And I came to realize that I wanted to get on phone with my friends and just hear the thing they want to talk about, because I love it. I love it when people get like on their soapbox. I love to hear people just like rant about a thing.
I really like this idea because it is interesting. I'm trying to, as you're talking, I'm trying to think back to some of the podcasts and the interviews I listened to, and I feel like they do, whether the interview is 5 minutes or 50 minutes. There's like some amount of small talk they start out with, and so
Yes.
I really like this idea of like using like specifically focusing on a topic. And I feel like, and I'm assuming you agree with me, given that this is what you wanted to do your show about. I feel like anytime someone is talking about a topic, even if it's a random topic, even if it's a conversation between two people, in some ways, you're like getting to learn more about that person. Some of what's going on in their life at the moment might very naturally come up. So
That's
it's
true.
actually still a great way to catch up. And maybe, and like, I feel like, again, this is probably what you're going for. Have like a really deep conversation, even if it's about something random.
Right, but it doesn't have to be about emotions, right? People
Yeah,
want it deep to be emotions or something, but I think you get more connection with somebody by really understanding the thing that they care about. And you're exactly right, Natasha, is that I love the idea that as we're having this conversation about XYZ topic, you're like, "Oh yeah, recently I was over at this, and you tell me a story about your life that has to do with that topic." And that's
totally.
that's totally normal for a really good version of a conversation.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like it makes me think a lot about, I was thinking about this the other day actually, about how like this is so random, so I'm going down a rabbit hole again. But I feel like a lot of people say this, and I believe this as well, of like experiences are so valuable to like long-term relationships, whether that's a romantic
Absolutely.
relationship, a friendship, a family member, because if you could both experience something together, whether that's like going and shooting darts, whether that's like, I don't know, taking a trip together, that experience is such a meaningful way to do something together and like have this connection. And that makes me think a lot about what you're doing. Like you're effectively creating these experiences that center around conversing on specific topics.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Pretty deep, after all. um, but I also was like, I have no right. Another thing that keeps coming up in my head is I have no right to have a podcast. I have nothing worthy to talk about for a podcast, right? That's one of the things that keeps me from calling it a podcast. I'm like, oh, maybe I could just have a talk show, because um, like I keep thinking to myself that a podcast has to be where you're an authority on the topic, like Pod Save America or like whatever. And then I was listening to, actually I was listening to Offline by the Pod Save America guys, and they had a journalist on who had listened to like 1,000 hours worth of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh my God.
And he came up with all these different conclusions about it. And one of them was basically like the reason he's popular is because he just lets people come on and rant. And he just listens to people and people just get the chance to talk. And I was like, that's my podcast that I came up with.
Yeah.
Wait, Joe Rogan came up with that podcast 10 years ago?
So oh my God, I have two questions.
Sure.
One of which is like burning in my brain, but I'll put that in the back burner for a second. So I totally feel, I mean, based on what you're saying, it sounds like this is what you heard too. I personally, there's like two types of podcasts I listen to. I love news podcasts. So I listen to Up First every single morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's frankly like, it is the way I feel, even though it's about 15 minutes long. So it's not like a crazy in-depth overview of news and current events. I feel like I get the headlines and stay connected enough to where I feel like I have enough knowledge and information that I want.
Yep.
And then I love random podcasts that if I'm being real with myself, they tend to be like interview like podcasts. So one of the podcasts, I'm like ashamed to say this right now, but I guess I'll be honest, that I probably listen to the most is called Call Her Daddy.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's basic. It takes on different formats sometimes, but some of her most popular episodes tend to be like her interviewing famous people. Like she interviewed Gwyneth Paltrow, she interviewed Zayn, she interviews like random people, but they're all typically famous these days. But all that to say, I feel like other than the news, if it's just a normal person, I actually do not want you to be an authority on the topic. Like I really like, even with Call Her Daddy, like she's just interviewing people and talking to people. And the reason I feel like her podcast has done so well is because, well, actually I could go into this far more and I don't think you care about it, but I think one of the reasons her podcast episodes get so many listens is because they do feel like very conversational, and she's actually not saying I'm an expert on anything. She treats her guests as the experts and just asks them questions.
And that's the same as Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but the other thing is I still think you have to be, I don't know, a respectable talksman to be able to be the host of
respectable talksman. Like you have to have some credit or like some fame.
You also should be, like a Toastmasters. And and so your credibility in hosting something is in your ability to like communicate properly and without saying like every 2 seconds like I do. I think I said it. I think I said it usefully twice in that sentence though.
I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that. I feel like based on the podcast I've listened to, yes, I think that people tend to be very well-spoken. They really have like their words pretty buttoned up, but I don't think it has to be like that. Like, I think that I would frankly, I would die if I listened to a podcast where I just like heard Obama and his wife shoot the shit.
Chit-chatting.
And say,
chit-chatting.
like, sorry, what?
Yeah, just chit-chatting.
Just chit-chat. Sorry, should I not be cussing?
No, yeah, you can cuss. I'm usually the one that cusses the most.
Okay.
But I think chit-chatting is better than shooting the shit.
Chit-chatting, shooting the shit, whatever other phrases there are. Like, I think that there's actually a real desire to just listen to like true, genuine conversations. And I, in fact, sometimes hate, and I felt this way a lot of times with daytime talk shows, or even like nighttime talk shows with like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. Like they're pretty canned to a certain degree. Like he's not actually asking his guests like, what did you do this weekend? You can tell they already talked through this, and he was like, oh, you did something funny this weekend. I'm going to ask you about it and give you an opportunity to share your story.
Right.
And like, sure, it's fun and it's interesting to listen sometimes, but it's canned, which I think takes away from like I think that's the beauty of podcasts and YouTube is just, I feel like I want to connect with someone who is like me, and I'm certainly not buttoned up all the time.
You're such a good speaker, though,
But
Natasha.
I mean, I do this. I would say the same thing to you. You're a great
Oh,
speaker.
shush it. No, you shush.
What are you talking
It's-
about?
no, you, I think, won like a Toastmasters like event or something.
I was in Toastmasters. I don't remember winning an event, so now you're actually making me feel kind of sad about my time with Toastmasters. But I was in
Is
it for
there
a
things
while.
where you win?
I think so. I think you can like. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's like some advanced stages of Toastmasters. I
Oh, like,
don't
yeah, there's
think I.
competitions.
Yeah, like I think you can be a competitive Toastmaster.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm almost certain that's true. I thought you were one. I
I
thought you were in the
don't think
travel
I
league.
was. I don't think I was. I think I just like was a part of the Nexus Toastmasters,
Got
which
it.
was so much fun because I mean, dear Lord, Nexians are just so sweet and so fascinating and they
Yeah.
do have such random side hobbies. It was honestly, it was kind of like this. Like we would talk about and I would hear about random freaking topics or things that people had experienced. And I was like, wow, I just like can't believe I work with you.
Totally. Absolutely. That reminds me of J Mars had a talk show.
Oh,
He
does he
probably
still have
he
it?
probably still does. I probably should
Okay.
have looked that up beforehand, but I was gonna. Actually, why would I have known to do that? I had no time to to plan looking that up. We can look it up right now.
I was gonna say, I'm like now really curious. It was something about coaching, right?
He was definitely a life coach.
Like people coach.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
okay, okay.
coaching.
Um,
And well, how
Jonathan.
are you gonna look it up?
I'm looking it up on Spotify.
That's where I'm looking. That's where I'm
Yeah,
looking. Can you believe that? That's a
great
crazy thing for
mind.
search. Think about it. Both our
That
instincts
is true.
was not to go to search engine, but instead to go to Spotify.
And it's also funny because I feel actually I don't know what this is. I like exclusively listen to podcasts on Spotify. I never go to Apple Podcasts or any of the other streaming services. I like if it's not on Spotify, I probably won't listen. And I'll probably be annoyed that it's not on Spotify.
I totally agree. Spotify rules the podcast world.
It's so good. And it is like
The
I I was going to say I feel like you could totally make this a podcast and put it on Spotify tomorrow.
I was thinking
Like
about that.
it feels like it's actually I shouldn't say. I'm kind of talking out of my ass, but it seems like it's kind of playing into allowing and democratizing podcasting so that anyone can kind of do it, which I also.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
Wait, so I'm curious, Travis, like so you wanted to have connections with your friends, you
Yeah.
wanted to catch up with them,
Yep.
you wanted to do something that was kind of different, which is where this like video game comes in and the
Yep. And
chaotic.
the time sensitivity of the video game too. That's the other thing
Mhm.
I think is different is that like there's added drama that this could like most podcasts you have no idea when they're going to end
True.
just because the people they ramble so much.
Yeah.
But this one you never know it's going to end because also the video game guy might die.
I like that. How have you like I'm curious what made you land on making these YouTube videos? Like why YouTube?
Um, I I
You can
I love YouTube. I use YouTube as my primary media consumption now.
okay.
I would say that I watch more YouTube than anything else. I love there are a bunch of content creators on YouTube that I love. Specifically video game content creators, and I was like, oh, I want to go and do something kind of like this guy, and I want to do something that's a little bit like this guy over here, and I really love these particular dudes, like the shouting out a few dudes like Adam versus Everything is these are dudes that play like indie games, not like
Hmm.
um, the Fortnite that
Got
all the kids are playing nowadays.
yeah.
So Adam versus Everything is huge for me. I watch a lot of that, and Pete Complete is another one. And it's like these things where they're playing these very very independent games, And then I got into watching this particular game as well, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. And there are 2 or 3 guys that stream that, but there's one guy, Terinsky. He does the stream and he puts up a new Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup video, I think every day. And he's incredible because he's like Mr. Rogers of video gaming. It's unbelievable. He's so sweet and kind, and he calls all the bad guys in the dungeon buddy. So he's like, oh, look at this little buddy over here. And I'm a little bit scared of this buddy. And he's very good at the game too. So he wins almost all the time. And that's, and so, yeah, I wanted to do something like that. Okay, then you got me ranting about this, but I think that's on purpose, right?
I feel like, I don't know, it's a ranty type of conversation on both ends. So please keep going.
Okay, so I was getting really obsessed with this game, and I kept being angry at myself for playing a game that was for free instead of like games I've spent $70 on or something. And I was like, but I just love this game so much, and it's so hard. I've never won. And I was like, I have to have some way to like corral myself. I was really just like playing it too much. I was keeping stats on my characters all the time. And I just was really interested in this game, and I was like, well, I'd like to just like have a log of all the games I've played of it. So I don't play this outside of this talk show at all.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So it went from being my favorite game, which I think it still might be, but I don't play it outside of the game because I don't want to accidentally get my first win when I'm not on the podcast.
Interesting.
And so it's just very so it's also just like a posterity thing. It's like an excuse to watch to have this. So I'm collecting all the videos on YouTube in that way. And like my main goal here is not to become like Mr. Beast or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Because if I did want to do that, I'd play games like Fortnite or something. Oh, the other thing is I suck at video games. And and so that's important too. I wanted to stream video games, but I suck at it. So I was like, well, what's my justification for having a video game stream if I suck so bad at video games? And I was like, well, I could make it funny because I'm like so hilariously bad and I laugh at myself and stuff. And I was like, I need more than that. And so I just basically was like, well, I'll just force my friends to come and talk to me. And then while they talk to me, I get to stream a video game.
I love this. It's so fascinating. I also have so many questions. So earlier you said YouTube is your main means of consuming content now.
Yeah.
Was it not always YouTube? Like, has it recently become YouTube, or have you like gone between a few different content platforms and currently you're really into YouTube?
It's more the latter. I got YouTube Premium, which is pretty great. Turning off. No, I've been a YouTube watcher for years and years. The variety of content is great.
Yeah.
The variety of length of content. Like being able to watch like a 7-hour like docu I don't know what, not documentary, because that would imply that it's a feature length film.
Yeah.
Like just like the work that people put into stuff on YouTube. You can tell when somebody really puts in the effort. And it's sort of also like I kind of realized that YouTube could really be like treated like your own little personal Google Photos drive where you just like keep it as an archive for yourself. And then you watch other people's archives and you're like, oh, this is so cool. You have this archive of this thing, this show you went to or something. I don't know.
That is very cool. I actually haven't thought about it from that perspective, but that is very, very neat.
It took me a little while to get around to that. It's like I'm scouring the back corners of YouTube trying to find people's like accounts that only have like 8 subscribers.
Oh my God. So funny.
That's exactly how many subscribers I have now. 8.
Woo! I
So
think you
go
hit
ahead
the
and
90.
smash that like button, everybody.
I became a subscriber earlier today,
Oh, nice. Oh my
so maybe
God.
you have
So you were
time.
the one.
Maybe I was the one that got you from 7 to 8.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because I think I'm similar. I wouldn't say I don't know what my main content platform is. I certainly really, really like YouTube. And if I have a few hours to kill, which happens never, I could easily spend a few hours on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, to your point, I love watching movie trailers. I actually love I'm now kind of
Yes.
like contradicting myself. I love watching podcasts that are on YouTube. I love watching certain YouTuber videos. Like, I'm going to sound so basic. I kind of really enjoy watching Hailey Bieber's YouTube channel.
Nice.
Um, and then like the to your point, the amount of content is wild. Like I can go on and watch a video on like, I don't know, product management topics
Yes,
or a
exactly.
video on like, how do I cook this fucking quiche? Um, and it's so wild and it's so cool. And
I
it's
just
also
haven't.
so neat, the diversity within like each topic. Sorry, I almost
Absolutely. No, almost cut you off. It's incredible the amount of content. Like being able to bounce around for all those things and just get tons of it in each of those categories. It's
totally.
absolutely worth the money. If you have YouTube regular, you should get YouTube Premium.
Wait,
Having to
what is
watch
the
commercials
um,
I never watch commercials on YouTube, and it's the
okay.
most glorious thing.
So I have to say, I haven't watched commercials for literally years because I had an ad blocker
What is
on.
wrong with you? How's this?
But here's the thing.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her corporate overlords of streaming. We're having a conversation. We're having conversation through
You can
a
cut this
app through
out.
one of them. The other one is the streaming service that I'm streaming this through, and the other one's the video platform that I use.
Oh, dang. Yeah, you got a lot of platforms going. But anyways, I can't even do that anymore because YouTube no longer allows ad block as of like a week ago. Honestly, I almost
Pay for the
cried.
premium,
It
dude.
is
Pay for it. You're
so
rich.
weird watching commercials. Like I'm like, why is this
Don't watch
happening
them.
right now?
No,
But the other
pay to
thing
not
is the
watch them.
commercials are hella good. And now I totally get why when we were at Nexus, those YouTube campaigns,
They're
God
good.
damn,
Yeah.
they're real good. And boy, do I watch them.
so you found that they are very well targeted to you.
They're very well targeted.
That's
Yeah.
because
And
they got your data.
they got all my data. I mean, I know like why it's so well targeted, but I think I just see how like when you're watching a YouTube video and a commercial plays in between, as much as I
I don't know
want to,
about that. I don't know about that anymore, Natasha. I don't know what do you mean by that?
okay, for those of us who are not premium subscribers, that ad in the middle, it's actually the same thing as podcasts. Like, I'm not going to leave. And it's like short enough to where I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll like listen to this. And then, of course, I'm listening to it. And then tomorrow I'm like, I do need to buy that extra pair of glasses from Warby Parker.
Man, you are susceptible.
I'm so susceptible. I mean, I will say I'm not as susceptible as some of my friends, but if it's like really well targeted and I'm like, oh yeah, I did need that thing, then I'm
Absolutely.
pretty susceptible.
Absolutely. I'll buy a thing because I saw a commercial for it. Mostly it's movies, like trailers. I get a lot of trailer ads.
I love watching
Or used
trailers.
to, yeah.
I could just spend hours watching trailers or
That's
even trailers.
probably that's probably why the ads are good because you're getting trailers as your ads.
That's true. That's true. But I think like, so I'm curious and I'm sure we could Google this. Do a lot of your friends consume a lot of YouTube?
I think
Like, is
so.
this common, you feel like, for you, your friend group, and just like people who are dads of your age in your demographic?
I think that YouTube is taking over the world, like in every demographic. I think including demographics older than me. I know that the people in the generation above me in my family are all complete YouTube addicts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I mean, like once you start down the rabbit hole of things you care about, like once
That's
they find the thing that they care about, they're like, oh, I want to watch this game show from when I was young, and it was only in regional television. I'll watch
yeah.
that, and there's 65 hours of it. I can watch this for the next 12 weeks.
That's fair.
The only thing that the generation above me and my family watches more than YouTube is CBS game shows.
CBS game. What is a CBS game show?
Oh, Survivor, The Amazing Race, and the one where they live in the house together. Not Real World.
Jersey Shore?
Not Jersey Shore. It's the one where they all vote each other out of the house. It's like Survivor, but it's called Big Brother. Thank you, chat.
Okay, gotcha.
Big Brother, yeah, that's the one. My dad watches that like crazy. He watches a lot of it.
Oh, wow. It's interesting because, so it's funny you say like you think YouTube is taking over the world. This is my perception of some of the content platforms. I feel like Instagram already took over the world, and now TikTok is like continuing to take over the world. I feel like YouTube took over the world a few years ago, and I thought I was just late to the game, kind of. And then I feel like podcasts are just like, it's almost becoming too much. Like every famous person has a podcast, and I'm like, I think the space is now it's about to become overly saturated.
But that's you're speaking to why I didn't I keep trying to not call it a podcast, but also why I don't think I'm justified in having one.
Because you don't want to be in a saturated space?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good point, because a saturated space makes me feel like, okay, why is it why are all of you here? And I don't want to be part of the why are you here? Which I realize that I'm actively doing the thing I said I don't want to do. But.
Well, I mean, so podcasts are becoming overly saturated. That said, I also feel like YouTube already became overly saturated, which is why any single person could probably find several YouTube channels or YouTubers that speak to very niche things that they care about. Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't know. I maybe said it that way. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for the podcast world to get saturated. Mm-hmm. It just means that you and I will have more options to choose from. And if we want to, I don't know, I'm making this up. If I want to listen to someone talk about, I don't know, about creating podcasts,
yes.
Now I'll have 20 options versus one option.
Right. And so that's really great for us as consumers. And so you're right that everybody has a space. And there is a version of a content creator that works for, which is me, where I'm not trying to turn this into my job.
But I'm curious, have you thought about doing that? Because I will say especially on YouTube, there are so many YouTube videos, Travis. Maybe you've seen these before, but so many videos about how to make money being a YouTuber, how I surpassed X number of subscribers in the first year. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, damn, I should become a YouTuber.
No,
I should start as a side hustle and then try to make some money.
But they don't explain the part where just doing whatever content you want is not how you get there.
It depends. I think it depends. I feel like some YouTube videos I've seen, they're yes, you want to look up, basically look at search results, see the concepts and the subjects people tend to search the most. But then I've also seen other YouTube videos where they're honestly, do the thing you care the most about and can speak to the most, and it will that's what's going to get you a lot of subscribers. So
honestly, just do wood carving. I know how much you want to do wood carving video channel.
What the heck?
Honestly, that's what they're saying to you. And they're saying, you know how much you want to do wood carving, and wood carving matters a lot to you. So just make a wood carving YouTube channel.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No. Oh, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm 100% with you, Natasha. You should know this. This is important for you to know specifically because I can be sarcastic, and that can be quite funny when doing so. But on this podcast and in this space, I very much wanted to assure my guests that I'm not going to be sarcastic and try to make fun of your point ever. And this is a no sarcasm zone where I'm like being shitty to you, because I want the guests to know that, like, if this is the thing that's you're passionate about, because we were talking about things to talk about, right? And one of them you chose was like Gilmore Girls, and you think that I might like have you on to talk about Gilmore Girls, and I'd be like a total asshole about it and like try to make fun of you the whole time, which I would, Natasha. But I promised you that this is a no sarcasm space, and so I'm not gonna leave. I would genuinely want to hear about your thing. I would genuinely want to have you just talk about Gilmore Girls and hear you get passionate about it. And if I want that, then I can't have you have the slightest inkling that I'm going to be an asshole towards your topic.
I just get the sense you typically don't befriend people who are like that easily scared away by your sarcasm.
Oh, I mean, I guess you're right, but it could happen.
Like, if you were mean to me about Gilmore Girls, I would still talk about Gilmore Girls and be so happy and rave about it.
Yeah.
And I'd actually appreciate your sarcasm, because I'm sure other people are like, Gilmore Girls, blah.
No, okay, so that's something about you, Natasha. I don't think everybody's like that. I think to get to the heart of the thing people really want to talk about, some people feel vulnerable bringing up that topic.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Now, that is why what you just got to is why you and I should have another podcast, which is something I think I've been suggesting that we should have done that for years. I've been saying we should have a podcast, and it should be a pop culture podcast.
But like, here's the thing.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Yeah, go on. You tell the thing. Yeah, you tell the thing.
No, now I want to hear what you were going to say.
I'm going to do a thing while you're telling your thing.
Okay. There's so many things happening.
There's so many things happening, but you'll get the hang of it in a second.
I feel like we could make a podcast. The only thing is I'm really just like not that intelligent when it comes to pop culture.
Okay,
like,
wait.
I can
stop there. That's a perfect place to stop. Can you still see our stream that we're sharing our conversation?
Can I see our conversation? I see
you see the game? You see the game, right? Okay, 1 second.
You didn't die, did you?
No, I didn't. Oh my goodness. You'd know. That guy's still standing there. It'd say you're dead on the screen.
Okay.
I'm going to present a different thing to you, though. I'm going to take that off, and I'm not going to play the game for just a minute.
Okay.
And we're going to come up with another crazy choice.
Wow.
This right here.
Girl Spontaneous here.
Chaotic energy. That's what we're talking about. Can you see this website?
Yes, I can.
Cheers. You like Cheers?
Nah, I watched it a lot when I was younger because I was bored, but I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of it.
Did
I
you even know what was going on when it was when you were watching it? I didn't either.
Like, it's so crazy because same with you, when we were younger, there was like not actually that much to watch. So the dumb shit I've watched is just like insane. And now I look at Netflix, Hulu, all these millions of streaming services, and I'm like, man, the things I would have watched when I was younger.
Exactly.
Not cheap.
It's also like there's potentially a lot of like sexual jokes and stuff that we did not get. Right? For
sure. Like, I used to watch Friends a lot when I was little. God knows why my parents let me. I had no idea what they were talking about. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, these were literally all like sex jokes or content about sex. I have no idea.
R.I.P. This is the R.I.P. Matthew Perry podcast.
What?
Yeah, wait, you didn't know this?
No, I knew about Matthew Perry. You're saying Ranker is the R.I.P. Matthew Perry?
No, I'm saying we just transitioned from having a podcast about the video game that I play to now we're having a podcast that's the R.I.P. Matthew Perry podcast.
Like, we're like right now?
It just happened right now.
Did I just get
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Today's topic is rest in peace Matthew Perry.
I have to say, I haven't had time to look up the details, but I really want to know, do you know, like, what happened to him? How did he pass?
He died in a hot tub.
Oh my God, that's sad.
Was
it a really hot tub? What happened?
I don't know. Matthew Perry.
I only recently learned that Matthew Perry had, like, maybe everyone else knew this. I only recently realized that, like, he had like severe alcoholism all
Yeah.
throughout filming Friends and would come on set like totally drunk. I had zero idea that was the case.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of news stories about that. There was also a really good opinion article in the Times today. Not from, I think, somebody that he knew, but somebody that was like appreciative of the fact that he talked about his challenges and getting sober before his death and stuff like that. So
I can't remember how I watched, maybe it was an interview of Matthew Perry where he was openly talking about how like sometimes he would come on set and he was like going through a week-long bender, and I was like,
wow.
holy, and he even said, he was like, which I actually don't understand how this works, but he was like, no one knew that I had been drinking for like a week. And I was like, man, I would never have known. But it was crazy because this wasn't that long ago that I learned about all of this or watched that interview. And then a few days ago when his death was announced, I was like, that is so sad. / I was very curious if his death and passing was in any way tied to some of his alcoholism.
He's been sober a lot, yeah. So
he has been fully sober the last few years.
He's been sober for the last few years. Matthew Perry's pal says he was in a great state of mind one day before death.
Oh my gosh, that is so sad.
He had spent $9 million trying to get sober. And Yahoo's headline is Matthew Perry's death put spotlight on hot tub dangers and drowning risks. Would you still get a hot tub at your apartment?
Yeah, sure thing. Maybe not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is not changing that.
I love hot tubs, and I'm not trying to throw any shade here, but I feel like I'm pretty good about not drowning in a hot tub.
Yeah, I agree. I was really afraid of what this photo was because it's Matthew Perry in a hot tub. And for a second, I thought we were looking. I had found like the dark web and found a photo that I wasn't supposed to be seeing of Matthew Perry found in a hot tub. But no, this is when he was safely in a hot tub.
Okay, yeah, I would have been really sad if we saw something closer to what. Oh my God,
that would end the podcast. That would be the end of the show forever.
Yeah, that would be really sad.
Hot tub water temperature should never exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
And what was it at?
Oh, for him, I have no idea. I don't think we quite know the death reason. I don't think it's come out.
Please.
I should be watching chat to see whether people are telling me. And I heard that there was, yeah. So the chat says there's no drugs. The chat is, okay. I think that's Christine. That's probably unsafe for me to like throw a guess out there like that because it's incredibly rude to the person if it's not.
You just told me about Julia.
What?
That was my attempt at throwing.
Oh, yes, nice. Okay, absolutely.
I don't know if that worked, but I tried.
I put Cheers on as number 2. This isn't me. This isn't my list. This is all voters. This is the list of the top sitcoms from the 90s.
Oh, okay. Definitely watch The Simpsons. Watch Cheers. Keep going down. I'm so curious what the rest of these.
Home Improvement number 3 cannot be right. It cannot be right. What are you people doing?
Wait, what are you talking about? Home Improvement was so good.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I 100% get it. I love Home Improvement, but it is not the number 3 show in all of the 90s sitcoms.
Wait, really? I believe that.
What about
Who didn't watch Home Improvement? Tim the
Okay, first of all, we just talked. Okay, do you remember what we saw in number 1 and 2?
Cheers and wow, I have short-term memory loss.
The Simpsons. I'll
Simpsons,
save you the challenge. That's
a
rough tough. Wait, do you remember what a show we were just talking about?
Friends.
Yeah.
I am surprised. Wait, so where is Friends?
I don't know. We'll find out, but it's not number 3, which is ridiculous. It should be at least number 3, probably in no top 2.
But Home Improvement had wide appeal to all ages versus Friends, even though like I was watching it when I was younger, wasn't really for all ages in the same way Home Improvement was. Like you could be a kid watching Home Improvement.
So you're trying to argue to me that Home Improvement was a better show because a larger variety of people found it funny, and that it's not a it's not a quantifiable fact that Friends is funnier than Home Improvement.
No, you're totally screwing my words. I'm saying Home Improvement had a bigger segment of viewers because I think it had appealed to like more generations versus I could believe a world in which Friends had a smaller segment than Home Improvement because it was a bunch of 20-something-year-olds on screen.
That's true. Okay, fair. Home Improvement's great. It takes place
Love.
in Detroit, where I'm from, so I love
Oh
that.
my God. I did not know. I don't remember that fact. That's so
Tim the
funny.
Toolman Taylor is a famous Michigander.
Wow, I believe that. Wait, I really want to know what these other shows are now.
Oh yeah. Number
You're
4
just
is Friends. Okay, phew. Okay, well I'm
okay.
buying this now a lot more. Number 6
Yeah.
is Fresh Prince.
Yes.
That's a good show. That's a
Oh
really
my
good
God.
show.
Actually, I'm shocked Fresh Prince isn't higher. I think Fresh Prince
No,
is
come on, Natasha. It can't be higher than the ones
out,
above it.
guys.
No.
Josh is thrown out of the house. Oh my God,
No.
that's a good
It's a
show.
great show. It's a great show, and it's got a
So
lot of
good.
great moments. But it does not make sense for it to be higher than Friends, than these top 4 shows.
You know, I don't know. I feel like Fresh Prince, I'm biased here. I think Fresh Prince was number 1 in my eyes. Like that
That
was
cannot be.
such a freakishly good show. I would still watch Fresh Prince today if I'm sure it's on a streaming service, but I would happily watch it and eat some
It says right
popcorn
here.
tonight.
It's on
Wait,
Hulu.
where? Oh, so maybe
This
I'm gonna
website's
go
pretty
on
cool.
Hulu.
It's on Max too, and on Paramount
You
Plus.
just say this website's pretty cool, Hulu.com.
Have you heard of it?
Have you heard of this?
Have you heard of it?
Do you remember back in the day at work, I used to get so offended when I would ask a question and you'd be like, have you heard of Google.com?
I've been trying to catch you on that. I've been literally playing the game of trying to get you on something in the past, like, 10 minutes of finding a thing you don't know about.
Okay, wait, that 70s show does not earn to be, it should not be number 6. I'm offended.
I agree. It's a good show, though. I mean,
It
although in
was a
retrospect, I think it's
fine
been canceled now.
I think it has. I was just gonna say, who is the guy with the well, I guess all of them had froze. The guy
Hyde.
he got convicted, right?
Yeah. See, that's another thing. Yeah, that just happened recently. Danny Masterson.
That was super recent. And Mila and Ashton came out in support of him. Wild shit.
B.U. Phillips was his wife, and
Who is that? Bu is her name?
Bichu Phillips.
Okay, I just like can't believe her name is pronounced Bichu.
You've never heard of her?
Definitely not. Have you?
Yeah, she's famous. She's a famous model.
Oh, well, of course she is.
And singer and actress, and she was in Almost Famous. What? Yeah, she was in Almost Famous.
Interesting. Is Almost Famous like famous? That
Almost
sounds
Famous?
like a D-list show.
It was a movie by Cameron by Cameron Crowe. I think it won an Academy Award.
Oh, okay. I take back what I just said.
Oh my God, oh my God, Natasha, why haven't you watched Almost Famous? So we have to make a podcast in which we, you and I watch a movie together, and then people can sync it up to the movie, and we do a commentary. We do like it's a director's cut commentary, but it's me and you watching the movie, and then randomly getting distracted and going to people's Wikipedia pages and stuff.
Have you watched YouTube videos where they do exactly that? Like I've watched a number of videos because I'm too cheap to like buy the show or buy the streaming service where they'll literally just like commentate. Is that a word? No.
Yeah, that's a word.
Commentary on a show as they're watching it. So I've done that with several pretty trashy shows actually.
Well, and then Twitch has a bunch of people that do this sort of thing. Like the person I know most is Hassan Abi. He used to be on the Young Turks, and now he's got his own Twitch stream. You ever heard of him?
I've definitely heard of Young Turks, but I don't recognize the specific name you mentioned.
So this dude, Hassan, he is on stream 8 hours a day.
Jeez.
And he's on the stream 5 days a week. I think it might be 7 days a week he's on stream 8 hours a day. And most of the time he just spends like on stream. His face is there and stuff, and he'll eat. I mean, obviously he gets up to eat and go to the bathroom and stuff, but like he will just talk about the news, and he'll just like bring up websites like Ranker and just like talk through Ranker. But he talks about politics and news stuff. So he's just watching the news all day, and then but he's just like commenting on the news, and then sometimes he'll get into like a big rant because he's very progressive left wing, and he'll just get on a big rant about something, which I love those parts. But for the most part, he's just like sitting there, like watching the news.
Honestly, I could see that being pretty fun to tune into for a little while, especially if you like his opinions that he shares and he isn't offensive.
Yeah, I could see it. Okay.
Wait, I was going to ask, like, I can't believe I don't know this, but this will show to you how little I know. I don't know, like, what is Twitch? Like, you're used to Twitch right now, right? Yeah.
It's a video game streaming platform. It's like if you went live on YouTube.
Okay.
That's it.
But it's meant for gamers?
It started as mostly gamers, but they've wandered into the, like, podcast and, like, real conversation space.
So it's like YouTube now.
I would say that what YouTube has built in the last year plus is trying to be Twitch.
Oh, I see. So the going live concept was formed or made popular by Twitch?
I would say so.
I did not know that. That's so funny.
And that's hilarious that you didn't know that.
I did.
So Twitch has tons of folks that just get on and like have their podcast live on Twitch. Yeah.
Fascinating. I was watching this video once.
It's owned by your company, right?
Oh yeah, I'm aware. That's why I particularly feel dumb for not knowing what it is. Okay, so
you work there, right?
I do. I remember. I think my only memory of Twitch is at some point. This must have been years ago. I think AOC went on Twitch and she went live playing a game.
I think Hassan was at that game. She was playing Fall Guys.
Really?
I watched it. I watched it happen live. It was amazing.
That's so funny. So that is my only memory of Twitch. Other than that, I've just like it's never really like crossed paths in what I'm looking at. So that's why I assumed it was like a gaming something. And then I was getting really confused as you were explaining how Hassan, that guy from Young Turks, would just like stream for 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, that doesn't sound like gaming.
No, it's not just gaming. Yeah.
No. Okay.
We're literally not doing gaming right now also. And we're on
This is true. This is very true.
So, okay. Number 7 is Full House.
Honestly, I'm surprised.
You think it's not that funny? What do you think they're ranking this on? Because this has the same appeal as Home Improvement.
That is a very good point. They must be, I would hope they're ranking this on like viewership or something, right?
No, it's based on people's votes, ups and down votes from people.
Like what people? Like dumb people?
Yeah, dumb people like you and me.
So like we can go in and rank these shows?
I could do it right now, yeah. But you know what? It's probably because it has less...
What?
You watched Home Improvement, right? Oh my God.
Oh, okay. I got you now. I thought you were trying to mimic a dog, and I was like, I don't.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's mimicking a dog.
Yes. But for a second there, I was like, I'm not sure how we transitioned into dog sounds, but now I'm truly lost. Okay. I got you. Wow. Old times. I don't know. I feel like Full House was better.
I just changed it so that I could see the chat at the same time as the browser. I've mostly just been sitting here talking to you, not even realizing that there was the possibility of a chat.
Okay, so with Twitch, what chat are you looking at? Because we're on like multiple streaming things right now, right?
Yeah, I know. So I'm not watching our chat between us, because if you type something to me, I wouldn't be able to see it.
Oh, I'm not typing things to you.
No, I know. Of course you're not. But I'm saying if you did.
That would be so bizarre as I'm talking.
That would be incredibly bizarre. What if right now you were just like Travis, why have you not been replying to all my thoughtful comments about the show?
Honestly, I'd be so impressed with myself that I'm able to like talk to you and put
I would be
anything
too.
thoughtful
I
into
actually,
words.
at first I'd be annoyed, and then I'd be like, actually, that's pretty impressive that you were able to pull that off.
So you're looking at comments coming through Twitch?
Yeah, so I've got like a one tiny little a window open. And so
Okay.
there are people watching us on Twitch right now.
Wow.
And they are able to comment to us. And I can see that. But a minute ago, I had my browser on full screen, so it was, I was streaming the browser, but I couldn't see anything else but the browser. So I had to then, make the browser small enough so I can have two windows open, right?
I see.
And that effed with the aspect ratio in the streaming software. So for a brief minute, everybody saw me like panicking, trying to rearrange my browser so that you wouldn't see my like bookmarks.
Gotcha. Man, you're
Ridiculous,
legit. You're getting live comments. That's wild.
This is maybe the first time I have gotten live comments.
Is
Besides
this from
last time
like,
Brenner came on or 2 episodes Brenner came on to tell me how much I sucked at video games.
wow? Honestly,
He watched me
it sounds
die.
like Brenner.
He watched me die in 9 minutes, and so
Oh my God, I love that. I bet your show or your episode with Brenner was so cool.
I haven't done that yet. No, I haven't done that yet. I'm saying he
Oh,
came on as a commenter.
okay. Gotcha.
Oh, I'm gonna have Brenner on eventually. I'm excited about it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that could make for a really great episode. Slash,
But what do you think his topic is? This is the first time this has ever happened that I've had that I've had one of the guests guess another person's topic.
Wait, so he already has a topic he's aligned on?
I don't know.
You?
No, I don't know that he has one in mind. But what do you think his would be if I had him on the show?
Something nerdy.
Yeah, of course. But you got to be more specific than that. I think I have at least 2 guesses.
It could be such a wide array. I feel like honestly, I could see him talking about gaming. Honestly, I could see it being so many things. I feel like that man has just like a dictionary or an encyclopedia in his head and could probably talk about some real random stuff at depth. What do
Absolutely.
you think it would be?
Absolutely. The other day, I got to go to his house, and he showed me his computer setup, and I think
Is
he
it
could have talked to
crazy?
me about it for an hour and a half, standing right there. And I would
could
have
see.
listened too, because it was completely fascinating.
Wow.
And actually, that's literally what I would like him to come on the show and talk about is his computer setup.
Your setup. Okay.
You should listen to it when I do have him on,
Yeah.
because he's got these mice now that are like keyboard mice, and it's pretty incredible. He says he's building a PC right now
Wow.
while we're talking about this.
Wow.
No, I
Go,
gotta,
Brent.
yeah. So
Go,
you know what
Brenner.
was a bad idea? I was talking about Brenner's topic because I'm worried that it's gonna make you feel bad about your topic.
About my topic?
Yeah.
About content creators? No. I love our topic because it's like it's been so fun to talk about it with you, as well
Okay.
as to learn about your viewing habits.
Have you gotten into have you fallen down the TikTok rabbit hole?
You know, I haven't even downloaded TikTok, so
I'm gonna go back
I
to the
don't
game
have
now.
TikTok. What?
I'm gonna go back to the game now, and we
Okay.
could go back to the '90s sitcoms at another time. I also have another browser tab open with another thing because I thought it was very likely that you and I would love to get distracted by just looking at websites together.
Wait, I want to see your other tab. What did
Oh,
you
I
say
don't
it
know.
would
Okay,
be?
do I have to do that now, or should I save it?
Okay, you can save it.
I'm gonna save it for a little later.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Dungeon Crawl Talk Soup is back.
Woo.
We just got distracted by being on a different podcast for a while.
Now with
Um, and now we're back. That's your cue, everybody. It is so. This guy's name is Beef Boderham, by the way. It's a
Who?
minotaur, a video game character.
Ah.
He's a minotaur. Okay, so we were gonna ask you is, Did you fall down the Twitch, not the Twitch, the TikTok rabbit hole?
So I've not downloaded TikTok. I will say,
That's a very shady way of saying you use the website to go to
oh
TikTok.
heck no. No. I'm not that old, but I do use like I scroll on Instagram more than I care to admit.
Oh,
And I
mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of people cross post TikToks on Instagram. So
Totally.
no, I haven't gone down the TikTok rabbit hole. Wow, is that a
We
mouthful?
are old.
We are old, but I do watch TikToks on Instagram and sometimes I really like them. Are you down the TikTok rabbit hole?
I went down for a long, long time.
Oh,
The
wow.
algorithm is outstanding.
Yeah.
There if you love the Google Ads algorithm for recommendations, I'm telling you, the TikTok one is so much better. It's so much better than Instagram. It's been so much better than YouTube Shorts, which is basically the exact same thing as TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just the algorithm is absolutely listening when it shouldn't be. The Chinese overlords can absolutely hear me say that.
Yeah.
Um, they for sure are listening, and they catch conversations and then show me hilarious or deep content that has something to do with something that happened to me in the day, and I'm
Okay,
like,
that's scary.
this is great.
Wow. I
And so
have
I
been
went so far down that rabbit hole that I had to remove it from my phone for a while.
So I'm curious, what were the things that would like typically show up on your feed? I'm assuming nerd things.
So that's a very underhanded um,
Hey,
say.
you said you couldn't be sarcastic. That doesn't mean I can't be
That's true. Okay,
sarcastic.
fair. Touche. You got me. You tricked the content creator. It's mostly like little skits and comedy stuff. People
Okay.
with funny observations. And then I also have a lot of like liberal anarcho-capitalist like replace parking garages with dense housing like advice TikTok. Like very
Interesting.
very left-wing city focused TikTok. um,
Okay.
and what else? I get book talk a lot because I get like to get fantasy book recommendations.
Ah,
um, and then I get a lot of punk bands, like videos from the '90s and stuff now. And then I get stand up comedy now. Um, and sometimes I get food stuff. Not very
okay.
much on the food stuff. Jess was way into to it for a little while, and all she got was TikTok and cleaning videos.
Is Jess still on the TikTok
It
world?
was she's not in the TikTok anymore. I don't think the kids call it the TikTok.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm getting
um,
flashbacks of Justin Timberlake as Sean Parker in The Social Network when he's like, "Let's go from the Facebook to just Facebook."
yeah, that's what they must have thought of the TikTok.
So
Um,
you were just like too obsessed, and you had to leave the platform.
yeah, it was I was and it's like watching it in bed type of stuff where you
Yeah,
just have your phone on you for too long and staying up too
yeah.
late.
I feel like that's partially what has kind of scared me out of downloading TikTok. Plus, I just feel like I don't need, frankly, more social media. Like, I already feel like I definitely scroll on Instagram, like before I go to bed, if I'm waiting on the subway. Like, I'm definitely a scroller, and I am scared that I may add to that scrolling if I get TikTok. Plus, I don't have a dire need at the moment for TikTok. So I'm
I
like, I'm going to keep this no TikTok on my phone. That said, I'm I really have a strong urge to download it more recently because I want to see how content creators are managing their platforms on TikTok.
yeah, there's there's so many. That's been such an amazing platform for people, and it's such a
Totally.
great diverse space too.
As
Like
in,
um
speak more
like
about the
uh
diversity of the space.
like I meant it both in the YouTube, the same way we were talking about YouTube being a diverse space,
Mm-mm.
and in the, like you can find your people there space, the LGBTQ
Gotcha.
community, or um, your left wing space or your conservative space or whatever.
Gotcha.
The algorithm, because the algorithm's so good, it serves you a lot of stuff that's really relevant to you and gets
Mm.
you in touch with, gets content creators in touch with you that are relevant to your interests. I guess the problem is, and we experience this like in politics a lot in the last like 8 years, is that can lead to rabbit holing where you
Yeah.
or where you never, or bubbling, right, where you never leave your bubble and hear other ideas.
Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty wild thing. Like and I feel like I thought a lot about this in New York recently, but I feel like sometimes even being in a big liberal city, you're in an echo chamber, and then agree that like social media can make that way, way more intense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of shocked. Well, I'm not shocked. It's a very hard problem to solve, but I wonder what social media will be like in the next 10 years, especially with respect to politics and not letting people just like continuously listen to their own opinions.
That's a
Or
great.
maybe we'll have the same problem in 10 years. Who knows?
I It has to. When I've heard people talk about this, or like going back to podcasts, or people talking about how to make social media better. Like one of the biggest things is it not being of corporate interest to keep your eyeballs there.
Right.
And so like how do we not have that be the case though? That it is all about attention and engagement, and so that leads to these companies um, aiming at your basest instincts
Yeah.
and not at what's like valuable or like helpful for you or the community. And like we
Totally.
just can't. There's no way to square that circle of like how do we make these platforms be valuable to us as a society when they're really out for shareholders.
Right. And I feel
And
like
that's brought to you by your local your local democratic socialist of
totally. And I feel like, I mean, man, this is like such an insane topic because like exactly to what you said, like the monetization of these content platforms is at odds with what is probably what a lot of people would say is like good for you or good for the public. But at the same time, how would you even begin to like I can't think of a better word at the moment. How would you begin to regulate it?
I have no
Like, we're
idea.
not God. Like, can we really be here and say, like, you know what? I think Joe over there needs a little, sprinkling of some conservative messaging. And
Yep.
I think Susan over there needs a little bit of Obama in her life. Not listening to Trump all the time. Like, how do you even begin
Has
to
Travis thought about how good trickle down economics is? Has he thought about it? We need to make sure he at least takes a look at
yeah.
it. um, uh, that's a really good point. A very fascinating challenge. I think there are people that have thought about this and have been on podcasts to talk about like how do we make it more about our society instead of about dollars and algorithms.
I I'm sure there are. I feel like this is like in some ways a very commonly discussed problem and I now really want to listen to some podcast episodes that discuss this
Yeah,
cuz
but
I'm very curious how you would ever even solve for this. Also because I feel like and you stated this earlier, people don't like a lot of people don't want to listen to opposing views.
yep,
And so how do you go against what somebody naturally and innately wants? And
exactly.
that's actually the biggest culprit, I think. Like we could just like take our heads out of whatever we're reading or the social media we tend to look at and say, "You know what? I want to listen to a different opinion today." But we don't.
That's a really good point. Hey, let me interrupt you for a second, Natasha. Check this
Did
out.
you die?
No, I didn't, but that's usually what I say to people when I've died. I have something even better for you. Check out the game for a second, right?
Okay, I
So,
see pair of boots.
yeah, you see a pair of boots, right? You see my little dude here? Can you tell that he's
Yeah,
wearing boots? He's wearing these
yeah.
awesome thigh-high red boots.
Makes
Watch
me think
this.
of kinky boots.
It's a kinky boots. And I
Yeah.
just found them on the ground in this dungeon, and I put on the boots, and I'm suddenly wearing kinky boots.
You are wearing kinky boots.
This is fabulous content we just discovered.
Is this an ad for red boots?
It's an ad for the on Broadway play Kinky Boots, coming airing 7 nights a week.
I love kinky boots.
8 showings a week. And as once said in New York Magazine by Natasha, I love kinky boots. Here she is now to reenact the moment that she said that.
I do genuinely love Kinky Boots. What a great show.
I haven't seen it.
I watched it like 10 years ago. How have you not seen it? That's insane.
No, I haven't
It's
seen all
such
the
a good
Broadway
show.
plays. I haven't seen all of them.
I mean, that's fair. I haven't either.
I've
But
seen,
Kinky Boots is a really good one. Like,
very
you gotta
famous.
watch it. It's so fun.
Yeah. Did you see Something Rotten?
No.
That was great, and it was on Broadway for a long time.
Is it no longer there? I take it.
It's gone.
Oh, damn.
Um,
Do you know what's got off Broadway, which makes me so sad? Phantom of the Opera.
oh, that just happened.
Yeah, it was there for years, and
Did you see it?
no.
Oh my God, you're an
I always
idiot. Oh my
think-
God, that's so
I
stupid.
I know.
Why are you doing that? Oh my
I
God.
know. I kept saying to myself, I'll go watch it. And then finally I was asking a friend, I was like, you want to go watch it? And she's like, they just ended it like a few
Oh
weeks
my
ago.
goodness. Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
almost cried.
I shouldn't call you stupid, Natasha.
I mean, you should. I am stupid. This
That
is
was
like a lesson to myself. If you want to do
tough
something,
choice.
like go do it. Go
Okay,
do
so
it
great. Which Broadway play makes you feel that right this second?
that I really want to see.
Yeah, and if it was gone, you would be sad about it.
It's another show that just left.
Oh no, what is it? That's not gonna help.
Come From Away.
Oh yeah, I heard that's not that good.
Wait, really? Everyone told me that was like, I literally have had a couple people tell me that was one of their favorite Broadway shows, period.
Wow. What's your favorite Broadway show, period?
I think it was called The Network. It was like on Broadway for a hot second. It had Bryan Cranston, and it was, you would have loved it, Travis. It was actually kind of talking. I mean, it kind of hit on the topic of just like an echo chamber and the media's role in our lives. And the acting was just wild. Wild. I was watching it. I was like, this is why I live in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. What's your favorite Broadway show?
Phantom of the Opera.
Did you just say that to make me feel like even worse? Or is that actually your favorite? That's really mean if you said that to like hurt my feelings, but it's worse.
Okay. The true story is that I thought to myself, she's gonna ask me what my favorite Broadway play is, and so I should start thinking about that. And
Wow.
then I thought of a couple of them that I'll bring up in a second. And then I thought to myself, this is honest. I'm not lying to you, Natasha. I thought, no, Jess would tell you, if Jess was here, she'd tell you that your favorite was Phantom of the Opera. And
Wow.
and then I said to myself, oh no, I can't say Phantom now because Natasha just missed it. And then I said, no, you absolutely have to say it. And you have to wait patiently for her to finish her entire rant about whatever she's saying. And then wait for her to say it, and then say it with the absolute perfect timing.
Wow. You were really playing the long game there. I'm
did.
impressed. You might be playing a
So
video
I
game.
didn't do it just
right
to be
now?
an asshole, but that was included.
Honestly, I'm really impressed. So wait, what were the other Broadway shows that you would also qualify as some of your favorite
Um, Dear Evan
that don't have
Hansen.
my
Dear
feelings?
Evan Hansen is
Oh,
totally worth
I
it.
remember actually, Travis, I feel like you saw it while you and I worked together because I remember you being the one who was like, that is such a good show,
Got to
which
see it.
also made me want to watch it, also missed it.
Um, I will if I listen to the soundtrack of that movie. I will watch it. I mean, I'll listen to it, but then as soon as this one particular song comes on, I gotta turn it off because it's I have very it's like PTSD. It's so
Oh, wow.
traumatic how beautiful and sad that song was, and it's
Aw.
so big and so small. I think is the name of the song. Let me make sure that's right because I don't listen to that particular song because it's just unfairly harsh. Dear,
Oh, wow.
you
I
don't know
really,
it, so you haven't seen it.
I have not.
Um, so big, so small. Yeah, that's the name of the song. Natasha, what are you doing with yourself?
What am I doing with myself?
I mean, like, why are you not seeing these epic Broadway plays?
I don't know. I'm just like not. It's funny because I do watch Broadway shows. Like I always watch at
Get like Kinky
least a
Boots.
couple a year. Yeah, like Kinky Boots. I just have still missed a lot of shows.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
I mean,
watch
so
so many
that's the very
shows.
first thing I said though. I said, not everybody's seen everything.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard. There's so many good
There's so
shows
many.
that have been around forever, plus some of the great shows that come in for a little bit of time.
And you know
Um,
what? Phantom will be back in your lifetime.
I hope it is. I'm so sad. I cannot believe I missed that
I
show.
really
I
do think
just,
it's fantastic. Did you see
oh,
Harry Potter?
oh,
Into
hell
the.
yes.
Did you see the
So,
full version? The
yes,
full
the
version.
two-parter.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody that sees, if you're coming to New York, okay, here you go, internet. Ready for this? If you're coming to New York and you fuck around now, you're gonna see the only the short version of it.
Yeah.
And you missed it. You really missed it. The fact that there was a play that was 7 hours long, that's crazy. Did you see it on 2 nights? I saw it on
I
one
did.
day.
Oh shit. I saw it on two nights. I think I saw it on like a Wednesday and a Thursday.
That's what most people have to do, and that's
It
worth it.
was
It's absolutely worth it.
so 100% worth it. Holy crap, it was so good. The Dementors, oh my God, good.
There,
I can't even imagine that being like being one show now. Like that makes me so
it's
sad.
so sad.
It
It's
was
not
such good
acceptable.
content. Yeah, it really isn't. It's
Um,
unacceptable. That's one where it's unacceptable if you had the chance to go and you didn't go. Because that
so I don't think they'll
was,
bring back the 7 hour version again.
I don't think they will either. Although I am curious about the logic. Like, I wonder if it just wasn't as good of a business model because they decreased it during
Totally
COVID.
wasn't. Exactly. Yeah. It couldn't have been.
Really? But they had it as like a two-part play for a really long time, right?
Yeah, and in the UK they had it for as a two-part play.
Oh yeah. I guess they're just
And
seeing maybe better sales with it being a one-time thing.
yeah, or the sales dwindled on the 7 hour version enough so that they were like, that can't be because I bet they were still selling out all the time.
I don't know. Actually, I guess I can see it. Because I feel like when it came out, there was so much hype for frankly years of like, it's so amazing. It's this two-parter. But I do feel like the people who are going to go see a 7-hour play maybe saw it. So I could see a world in which, like, I think your phrasing of like it dwindling down, I could see that being the case.
Yeah, I think so. But it's still a
Because
money grab.
it is a big time commitment.
It
Like
is.
going 2 days or spending a full day. And then like if you spent the full day on a weekend, that's
That's what
like
we
it's
did.
also like expensive.
It's
So
expensive.
I could see that turning away a lot of people, especially if they're coming into the city for a short period of time.
Yeah, but those people were doing straight up real magic on the stage. Like you go see that show and they did and there's real black magic happening on that stage.
It was wild. It was wild. That
But
was so good.
and I mean, that's one way of putting it that what I just said, but another way of putting it is that like they were doing a magic show on the stage. And then I think about how I've gone on this rant. I don't hope I haven't done it to you before, Natasha, but the thing about this play is that they're doing magic on the stage, right? That means that
Yeah.
those actors have been trained to do magic tricks, which is the equivalent of turning them into magicians.
Yeah,
So now
that's
they're
true.
doing a magic act up on this stage. But then I think about to myself, wait, no. I mean, like, all magic acts are just plays.
That's true.
Think about that. Like, if you go see a magician on a
That's
stage
really
and they're doing
fascinating.
an act, they're doing a stage play,
They're acting, yeah.
and they have special effects just like a Broadway play does.
You know, I did not think about it that way.
I
That's
just thought of
fascinating.
that when I thought about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for too long. I thought about it for too long afterwards. I was like, they did real magic tricks up on the stage, but they're magicians, but they're playing magicians. But are magicians also playing? I was like, whoa. Um, did you see
Wow.
Hamilton?
No.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, that was a hurt. That's hurting me. So here's the thing. I didn't go because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna win the lottery. Like, I live in New York. Everyone who's told me they like apply for the lottery for like a year, they all like ended up winning tickets. I did it religiously for like 2 years, never won tickets. And then now I'm just like so sad that I've stopped trying, like applying to the lottery. I should really start again. But all that to say, I think I just kind of got tired, but my goal was always to see it in person. Did you watch Hamilton? B, have you watched the movie?
I did watch the movie. I didn't see it in.
You
I
watched-
didn't see it on Broadway. It was always too expensive, and
Oh.
just didn't get the chance to.
It was really expensive. I think that's another reason why for a while I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like put my eggs in this basket of winning the Hamilton tickets
Yeah,
lottery because
but
it
the
was so expensive.
I will also say that I lost a lot of interest because of the movie because they did a really good job filming the play. I felt like I was there, and
Oh
it had the
wow.
original cast. So like I'm never gonna get to see the original cast. So like I don't think it could be as good to see it live compared to seeing Leslie Odom do it. Like what's the point of seeing somebody else do it?
Yeah, that's fair. I was really sad that like at during that 2 year me trying to win the lottery, I at that point was when the cast changed over and I was really sad I missed the OG cast.
Um,
And then I
I
was less
I'm gonna
incentivized to.
come back to Broadway plays, but but I'll go back to content creators for a second. You know Billy on the Street?
Yes.
He is a very funny show. It was
You
first on
know,
YouTube, I think, and then it was on True TV.
I don't love it.
Um, I don't care. No.
Whoa.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I don't mean that.
Okay.
That's not the point. The point is that he's got one little moment where he's walking around with Lin Manuel Miranda, and I'll send you the TikTok of this, Natasha,
Yeah.
where he runs up to a woman and is like, "Do you know who this is?" And she's freaked out. She's like, "I don't know. No, I don't know who this is. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is?" And then she's like, and then he's like, from Hamilton, and she's like, "Oh my God, I get in line for the lottery every single day, and I hate you because I never win."
Oh, oh my gosh.
And then Billy is just like, "Let's get out of here."
Oh my
I gotta
gosh.
send you that.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna cut this part. That part's not funny.
Wait, I thought it was really funny.
I know. I like to add that joke to my podcast. I'm gonna cut this bit.
Oh, I see. I see. Did you
um,
did you watch that movie somewhat recently where wasn't Billy Eichner in it and he played Oh, it was about Monica
dudes.
Lewinsky.
Oh, I didn't see
Really?
that. No, I
I
didn't see
think
that.
I'm pretty sure he was what was it? Was it a movie or a show? There was something I watched about Monica Lewinsky and he played the journalist that I think like basically was not gossiping, but the equivalent of almost like writing for a tabloid, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
tabloid
super
journalist.
random. It just made me think of I remember him. He wore like a hat and he was like he played a very stereotypical looking journalist.
What platform was this on?
Oh man, I have no idea. This is gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna look
Look it
this
up.
up.
Look it up. Yeah. We're on the
Really?
internet. We're literally on the internet right now, so you're allowed to look at the internet while you're on the
This is
internet.
It was okay. It was impeachment, which it was a show. Okay, it was a show where
On what
Beanie.
platform?
What was it on? It was on FX.
Okay.
It was pretty good, actually. I love a good retelling of Monica and Bill. That was such wild shit, man.
You were way too young when that was happening to realize it then.
No, honestly, like, yeah, I was young, but because it was like plastered all over the TVs. Like, I remember it so well. I remember like my mom and dad talking about it at home. I remember people bringing it up. I feel like people made a lot of jokes about it
Yes,
at
it was
that
on
time.
Saturday Night Live every single day.
It was so like, yes, I was young, but I actually remember it really vividly. I remember like the photos and videos of Monica Lewinsky so well, like so well, because again, it was just everywhere. It was hard not to know. So even though in my mind, as a kid, I don't think I like understood the depths of it, but I did understand like, oh, our president, Bill Clinton, had an extramarital affair. That
I
is bad.
I understood that part, but I didn't understand the sexual part.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, like when they talked about the cigar and stuff and the blowjobs and stuff. I think I was too young to like get that.
Really? I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember that at all. I just remember he had an affair, and I was like, affair is bad.
Right.
But I didn't, yeah, I guess to your point, I didn't know what was
Like, why is
included.
it like there's a bunch of jokes on Saturday Night Live that I'm not quite getting,
Okay, that's fair.
and
That's
it's
fair.
not just Chris Farley like flipping over a table or wearing too small of a jacket. Like,
Yeah.
there's some sort of sex joke here that I don't get.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Isn't it so wild though? Like their story and like the sex part of it,
Yeah,
like so wildly inappropriate, but also just like so insane that this happened in the White House with the most like looked at human being
yeah,
in the world.
it's
Like
totally
just
insane
wild.
that happened.
Wild. I can't believe it happened.
I do, um, I do think that the, I do think that like the 2016, election was affected by how long people have been stewing over the things that happened during that Monica Lewinsky
Oh my
stuff.
God, yeah. I mean, even today, I've actually heard like people I know slash friends be like, that one of their things against Hillary is, but she stayed with him. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's
A,
crazy.
I can't get over that. But B, like, it was decades ago. But most importantly, I just feel like that should not reflect on Hillary in any way. Like, she can
Totally.
do whatever she wants to do.
You
We
can't.
should be looking at her for her merit and her capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you should not be putting the damage
I know.
of an event like that, of your husband cheating on that person. It's not their responsibility to act the way that you want them to. That's a bunch of
A hundred percent.
that's putting all the bad stuff onto her to do that.
100%.
Like, she's the victim.
Not only was she the victim, but to your point and exactly what you're saying, like she was victimized by the public. She was damned if she did, she was damned if she didn't. I actually think like I mean, I think she did what made sense for her and what she needed to do. And I just don't even understand why her name comes up as a part of the conversation. Like her husband was a piece of shit. Well, I kind of like his politics, but whatever. He's kind
No,
of a
it
piece.
wasn't a great. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the of Bill's politics, but
Really?
that's a whole thing. But we're I don't want to distract from the fact that like I'm a that we were on the right track talking about how people were out for her.
Fair. Yeah, I like I was literally baffled when in 2016 that conversation was still happening. Like I honestly just
It's because the
I'm
right-wing media apparatus had it jammed down our throats for decades. Yeah, I think that the right-wing media apparatus was on her like even before Clinton ran for president.
yeah. I
Like
feel like she was always kind of effed. Like it always kind of came to her for some reason, to your point. Well, not for some reason. I feel like it's
and
just society. We suck. We literally suck so much.
30 years worth of her being the ire of right-wing media and
Yeah,
being the witch and being the failure and being all those things led to her still winning the popular vote. And
I
that's how
know.
good of a president she would have been, because that's how that's how like overly ridiculously wildly overly qualified she was, that
Yeah,
it took 30 years worth of bashing just for her to lose. But by the way, she didn't actually lose the vote.
right.
So like they couldn't even get her to actually lose the vote with 30 years worth of bashing. That's how good of a candidate she was.
Honestly, I still, one of the things that drives me to this day, weirdly enough, is watching Hillary's speech after she lost.
Oh, after she lost, I thought you were gonna say at her nominating convention, because I thought that was
Okay,
just like
that was
mind-boggling.
amazing. It was like I also love that speech, but I think the reason her sort of like what I guess do you call it a loss speech?
Concession
Her
speech.
concession, yes. Sorry, her concession speech.
It's
I
where you
think
buy it's where you buy popcorn and stuff.
it's what?
It's the speech where you buy
Oh,
popcorn.
I was certainly not buying popcorn, rather wiping my tears. But it's such an inspiration to me today, and in some ways, like it's so motivating to me and drives me, and I think about it a lot because I mean, Hillary losing was like one of the biggest losses I feel like of my lifetime and of me as like a human being because it just it would have meant so much to me to have seen her win and I felt like she deserved it. I felt like she would have been great, blah blah blah, but her speech was just it was so articulate. It was so beautiful. You could tell I mean at one point you could tell she was holding back her tears, but at the same time she was so graceful and like gave this lesson which I thought was a very important lesson to really anyone in the world, but in particular I think it was amazing coming from her and from a woman of like she said like I have failed many times in my life and like you will fail too, and I can't remember the exact words, so I'm not quoting her, but she was like it's about stepping back up and getting back into the ring. And I don't know, her speech was really uplifting while it was so sad and in some ways traumatic.
So traumatizing and glorious at the same time.
Exactly. And like once again, I feel like that's just the power of Hillary Clinton. Like she is in my opinion, a classy lady. She like I believe really like I mean, as you can tell, I'm so pro Hillary. I love that
Clearly.
woman.
I
I'm
didn't know
so
we were gonna head here, but I love it.
I love her. Yeah, I just like I am so sad that I'll never see the day that she's president. I
Yeah.
wish with all my heart I could have seen that.
Did you do any canvassing?
I didn't. Did you?
I didn't, but I did for Obama. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and I also did some phone calls for Elizabeth Warren in 2020.
What was your experience like with both Obama and then for Elizabeth Warren in
So in
20?
'08, my birthday was the election, and that's why I think he got elected. And so that's that story. No, I'm just kidding. But I remember it.
I love it.
I remember it. I took the day off because I don't work on my birthday.
I remember that as well.
This is very important to me. And so I took the day off, and I was like, well, I have the day off, and it's election day, so I'm just going to go canvassing. So I went over to the local
Wow.
Obama like shop, and it was just down the street from me. And they said, what type of thing would you like to do? And I was like, I'll go walk the streets. It's a beautiful day. It was actually a really really beautiful day for whatever reason. And they were like, cool. All we need you to do is go around, take this clipboard, go to these addresses, and these are people that are registered voters. And at this point, we're not trying to convince anybody to vote for Obama because it's too late in the show, in our opinion. So all we
Yeah.
need you to do is go there and check and make sure that they know how to get to their polling place and know how to vote. And if they don't have a way to get there, then you can, have them help them search the internet or whatever to get to the place and vote.
Wow.
I think they also said that you could direct them to call the office and they would set them up with a taxi. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That feels imaginary to me. I'm not
That
sure.
feels
Oh, you know what
expensive.
it was is that they gave me the addresses and like where the polling place was and then like gave directions of how to get there from where I was.
Got
Well,
it.
and plus I was like in my neighborhood, so it was like I know where the polling place was and I know where I was. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I can get you there. Like it's like 6 blocks down that way."
Oh,
Um
wow.
So yeah, I just went down a couple of sheets of paper worth of doors, knocking on doors. Thing was, it was like daytime, so
Hmm.
most people were at work. So I just mostly knocked on a bunch of people's empty houses, and then I talked to like 6 or 7 people, and was like, I seem to remember helping at least one person find out where the polling place
That's
was.
amazing, Travis.
Yeah, I knew it was at
I
least
think
one. It might have been two or three.
I think 6, 7 people in total is like a very good number, and that you helped 1 to 2 of them. I mean, that's
Pretty
amazing.
incredible, right? So you've never done
Yeah,
any canvassing,
I haven't.
or
Am I a bad person?
you never dialed any phones for Hillary?
No, I haven't.
Would you?
Man, if I could go back in time, I definitely would have. I think I would again if I felt that's a lie. I would again. I would again. I think it's really important. You're now making me feel like I should definitely do that for 2024.
I think you should, although I don't know that the candidate you're going to get is one that should be the moment you
That's
do it. Um, but maybe you could do it at a lower level. Like there's a lot of races where you're probably needed.
that's
Do
fair.
you have a type? Do you have a type of politician that you like?
Is that your way of asking me what party I vote for?
Yep, you have to reveal it now. Now you have to tell all presidential. I would tell all mine if you told yours.
I mean, I literally just went on a saga of how obsessed I am with Hillary
Okay, so
Clinton.
but what
I'm
about
sure
so
it's too much of a
let's
surprise.
not do that then. Let's not talk about who we voted for. The question is then like what's the general type that um embodies Hillary Clinton? Like if you had to generalize what you liked about her, what was it?
Oh man. I felt like a few things. I felt like she was super, super experienced, which she quite
Qualified.
literally was. No one can say she had so much
So much
experience.
experience. She was Secretary of State.
Exactly. I think like Hillary kind of crushed whatever she did. I feel like throughout history, like even outside of the
Absolutely.
2016 election, people gave so much shit to that woman, but then she would be first lady and did a great job. She was
A
the New
senator.
York senator. Holy, holy, holy F, she did it. Like she was there when 9/11 happened, crushed it. She became Secretary of State, crushed it. So even when people hated on her, their favor would actually change after she started doing the job, which totally makes sense to me because she had a lot of experience. She was really competent. She was really hardworking. So I felt like a sense of security that I felt like this is someone who understood American politics. She understood the American people. Despite all the shit she's gotten, she still cares so deeply about the American people and public service that it gave me a lot of security of I feel like our country will be in secure hands with someone with her caliber of just like education, knowledge, experience, and like capability to deal with really difficult situations like 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like her experience really stood out to me. And I wouldn't say this is the reason why I voted for her, but I do think she did kind of represent the type of person in terms of like ethics and morality that I think should be the case for a publicly elected politician.
I love it.
Despite her husband, like she I felt like was really like in some ways just like an upstanding woman.
I agree. I think you nailed it. I think you couldn't have said all that better, Natasha. Incredible.
Man, this makes me kind of sad.
This podcast is a microcosm of the podcasting genre. We've gone everywhere.
We really have.
And I feel like if there was a museum of podcasting, they could just shut it down because we just put it all together in one podcast.
That we did. It's kind of crazy. Our conversation really took some turns and loops.
We've gone everywhere. Let's
It's
go look at
wild.
that other. Let's go look at that other tab I had prepared.
Okay.
Still got these Danny Masterson tabs open. I better close those before the CIA comes and tries to find me, FBI or something. Okay, here we go. Do you want the People Magazine Best Celebrity Halloween Costumes or the Vogue Best Celebrity Halloween Costumes?
Ooh, okay, that's a really difficult choice.
We're gonna go Vogue first.
I was just about to say Vogue.
You won't
Also,
see too long.
I
Oh,
still
look.
can't see your screen.
Oh, okay. I was flicking back and forth, but did you enjoy watching the video game though?
I did. Did you ever die?
I never died. No, we haven't died.
You crushed it.
We crushed it. I'm very good at video games.
Go you, Travis. I'm giving you an air high five.
Yes. Okay, give me that like. If you like the content, give me a like and subscribe. Go ahead and smash that like button, everybody.
Oh, I'm so excited to look at this.
Okay, let's look at these.
Ooh.
Okay, whoa. All right, Haley, there's your girl.
She is my girl, and I'm all about her like look, but meh, I think her costume's fine.
Costume sucks.
Yeah.
I thought that's incredible that you brought her up earlier, and then there she is in her bra and panties.
Because she's just such a cultural icon, I feel like, these days. Like, you can't do anything on the internet without seeing her, like, skin brand or pictures of her or people analyzing her in Justin. She's just everywhere.
This is literally the first time I've ever seen her.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I didn't
That's
know who
because
it was. But she's got a nice body.
I mean, she was a former sorry, she still is a model.
Yeah, she's still a model, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, who is this?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, is she a flower?
I think she might be Poison Ivy.
Oh, okay, that was going to be my second guess. That's a pretty dope Poison Ivy costume, and it's interesting because it's original. Like,
okay, I don't think it is. I think it's somehow Tim Burton themed.
Oh.
So we're both unaware of this.
Because I was gonna say Poison Ivy usually always has red hair, and so
yeah, you're right. She's in some sort of Alice in Wonderland thing.
I like it. I'm a fan.
Looks great. Here we go, Kiki.
Boring.
Boring. She missed, but at least her kid's there. I think this looks like it's. This kid looks like it's photoshopped in.
Yeah, honestly, the kid does look like. Also, what kid is this?
I don't know.
She looks like a baby, I think.
She's a doll.
Yeah, I'm unimpressed.
Okay, that's why the kid's there. Here we go. This is Kate Beckinsale.
Wow. Kate looks very
Barbarella.
different. Meh, I'm unimpressed.
She also plays Pennywise somewhere in here, so let's see if we can find that one. Oh, it's a friend of
hers.
Oh,
there, yeah.
Okay.
Pennywise is cool.
Whoa. Demi Lovato.
Unimpressed.
Nope. Okay. Boring. Ice Spice. I don't think that's a costume.
Yeah, Strawberry maybe?
Yeah, maybe she's Strawberry. Adele.
Is Adele from the Addams Family? I'm
Yeah,
forgetting the mother's name. Okay,
Morticia.
I like this. I like this. I like this. Ooh, I like those rings. Ooh, I think
She likes
it's
it.
great.
Hey, folks, she likes it. Next is Xtina. Okay,
I don't
that's a
even
lot.
know who
Which one do you
Christina
want to
is.
see?
Aguilera?
Oh, this
Wagon
is
wheel, what you
Christina.
see?
Oh, is she?
This is Cher.
Okay.
That's very loud.
I'm kind of done with. I like Cher, but I'm done with it. Oh, I
You're
saw
done with
this.
it.
Her daughter.
You saw
I thought
this?
this was pretty cute. I'm always a fan of mother-daughter costumes,
But
and
these people are same-age friends in this story. So that makes me
that's
feel a little weird.
I don't know. I like it. I like it. I'm also just a huge Clueless fan, so I just can't not like it. I love Clueless,
I
so.
love that the love interest's name is Travis.
I forgot about that.
I think I quote Clueless. It's got to be in the top 10 movies I quote from a specific part, which is whenever somebody says something that is like related to something hitting their face or they're telling me something that they think is dangerous, that I don't find particularly dangerous, I'll say, well, there goes your social life. Mariah Carey being Jessica Rabbit.
I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan. Love
I'm,
it.
I'm a big
Also,
fan of Mariah Carey.
I think she is. I've heard her memoir is really interesting, but
Is that
I
true?
don't. What?
Is that true? You've heard that?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to someone about this because she was telling me about the Britney memoir,
Right.
and she was telling me that I need to listen to the Mariah Carey memoir because it's on Audible. It's narrated by Mariah Carey, and apparently she just like goes into song randomly, and it's like a
Oh.
really fun listen.
Oh, wow. I bet that's amazing.
Yeah, but my friend, she was like, but Mariah Carey is crazy. So I am curious to maybe listen to that Audible.
It's about that time of season when we get her song.
This is true. This
So
is true.
we're
I've been
almost.
listening to that song already.
I heard through the grapevine that you've been listening to Christmas music for a while.
What grapevine did you hear that from? Actually,
I
I
heard
know
it from a
exactly what grapevine you heard this from.
I heard it from a mutual friend of ours. Okay, wait, one more. This is the one.
Okay,
You heard
now
of this,
that.
right?
No, what is this?
That's
This
Heidi
is
Klum.
holy moly! What the
Yeah,
heck?
wait.
Oh my God!
There's a whole
Holy.
it's a whole thing. She's a
Um,
peacock and it looks incredible.
So, funny enough, last night I went to a Halloween party with Ryan, and we drove past the like the marquee, which is where Heidi Klum was,
Oh, okay.
and we drove past this background, but obviously I didn't see Heidi Klum or this peacock outfit. That is wild. Now that
That
is
is a wild.
cool
She's got like
shit.
so many people with her.
I know. That is okay. That is way too cool. I
Okay.
love the feet.
The feet is incredible. The feet is
That is
incredible.
so cool.
Very
Oh my
cool.
God. Love it. Love it.
Natasha, we've been talking for too long. I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I gotta go to
Um,
bed.
we have clearly proven tonight that we do not need anybody else except for the two of us and the internet to host a podcast. We don't need guests. We don't need anything else. The two of us could just host a podcast the entire time. And I've said that for years. Haven't I said that for years? And I think that we could do. We. I really think that pop culture would be great. We would run into so many things. We would just be annoyed that each other hasn't seen.
That's true. You know, you were like, if I had listened to you when you started suggesting this, which to your point was years ago, I think we would have been the OG crew of
Well, that's
podcasting.
true too. We would
We'd
have
be
been
making
very OG.
$1 million a year.
Yeah, and we could have guests on. We could interview them, and then it would be more justified in making fun of each other too, because like when you're my guest on the show, I shouldn't be saying bad things to you, but when we're hosting together, we absolutely can make fun of each other.
Are you suggesting we like shit talk our guest?
No, the guest you can't. No, I just explained it that you cannot make fun of the guest.
Okay, so you're saying we should talk like each other, not the
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. That could be a bit. I could see people liking that.
Also, this week I talked a lot less about the video game than I do often. I usually try to explain a little bit of what's going on. I did almost none of that for you, except for the boots.
Yeah, I was really confused by the boots. I was like, why are you talking about these boots?
They're cool. They're
I
just
really
cool
thought I
fucking
was like,
boots.
this is for sure an ad.
They give a +1 to defense,
Ah, okay.
but it's mostly that they're boots.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna do like two more things, and then we're gonna say goodbye to everybody on the internet.
Sounds
We did
good.
some really good work here, and
I think so too.
I think I'm gonna have to have you back as another guest at minimum, so we can talk about the other topics that you brought to the table, because I'd love to talk about all of those.
I think that would be so fun to have conversations about. So, yes, please. I've very much enjoyed being a guest on your talk show. Slash
Um,
learning about Twitch, which we're apparently streaming on.
yes,
So
of
it's a real
course.
educational couple of hours.
It's been a great conversation about content creation, great meandering. I loved everything about it. Great chaotic energy, and I love talking to you. And I'll get to hang out with you in a couple of days.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god,
Also,
I'm so
you'll be
excited.
meeting Ryan for the first time, which is
That's
wait,
awesome. That's super important to me. I'm frustrated that it's taken so long.
I know, but I'm so excited about this weekend, and I'm so excited to celebrate you and another like
Woo!
to an amazing decade.
Yes, absolutely. Bye bye 30s. Okay. Um. All right. I'll talk to you. I'll see you. I'll talk to you on Saturday.
Sounds good. Can't wait.
All right. Say bye to the internet.
Bye.